they would have been much better served in a lounge like this to have Max Rebo and his band come out.
I know,
and play music for guests. I mean, that would bring the house down. You know, I mean, look how popular DJ Rex is over at Oga's Cantina. Mm-hmm. That was such a perfect decision for them to do that. You know, that's what Star Wars is about. And it's just like, this just doesn't feel like Star Wars. Now, you know, they did have lounge singers like this, I believe, in Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Yeah.
I think when Han and Kira met up after a long time again, right? They reunited.
Yes.
But even in that situation, the lounge singers weren't singing in English. It was more of an alien language, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
It felt more Star Wars-y. This doesn't feel like Star Wars to me. This feels more Fifth Element. It does.
I mean, you know, a lot of people said that during the first trailer that was released, right? With Goldberg's kid or whatever, right? A lot of people felt that it looked, yeah, exactly, right? It looked like Fifth Element. And when you see it kind of, even in the context by which it's going to be shown, it still feels like Fifth Element. Like, it just, like you said, doesn't feel like Star Wars. And it's weird because Gaia, her songs are featured in Galaxy's Edge right now. And in Oga's Cantina specifically. And they sound a lot more Star Wars-ish than this. Like you said, bring out the modal nodes, you know, from the Tatooine Cantina band, right? Apparently that was going to be a concept by which they were going to bring them into... they had a concept by which they're going to bring them into Galaxy's Edge via the restaurant. And the idea was that they were going to be a traveling band, right? And, you know, it's like, hey, you know, post-Galactic Civil War from their great, you know, time across the galaxy, including Tatooine, here's the modal nodes, you know, kind of thing. And that's how they would integrate them in. You could do something similar here, and they just choose not to. Like you say, Max Rebo, where's the kind of stuff that we expect from a Star Wars performance like this? It's just a mistake.
Well, and the Max Rebo thing is such a slam dunk.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he was heavily featured in their newest show on Disney Plus,
right.
The Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
I mean, it's like such perfect synergy, and they sleep on it. And then it's even like they have Baby Yoda, Grogu, who's like the biggest thing since like Elvis.
Okay? Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And they do nothing with it. They don't have any kind of Grogu meet and greet. They have no Grogu anything when you go to Galaxy's Edge or this.
Right.
What are you doing, Disney? Like, I thought you wanted our money.
And that's what I thought. And I think it just comes down to there is a huge disconnect between WDI and Lucasfilm. Like, they're just not even trying to be on the same page. They're completely disconnected from each other, and that reverberates to your experience when in the parks experiencing these things. Like, it's weird how it's like you have some of the best stuff being actively featured right now.
Right.
And you don't integrate that in, even though when Galaxy's Edge was first brought to us as fans, when you started talking about it, when you started to hear the publicity for it, a lot of the Imagineers were saying, oh, this would be a canvas for future Star Wars content as it comes out down the road. Where is that? Why haven't you done that kind of integration yet? Like you said, the synergy, the potential for that is off the chain, and yet they do nothing.
Well, you could have, like, perfect example. And the big problem, too, is that they're so fucking married to the timeline in these theme park things. I don't know what the hell that's about. But if you had like a cantina on the Starcruiser or a lounge like this, you could have Mandalorian come in and have a gunfight with somebody else, right? Like criminal underworld, while you're eating, and have them shoot it out while you're eating. Have a dinner show, basically, right?
Yes.
How epic would this be?
Yes.
I mean, it would be so perfect. You could if it's not Mando, you could have Boba Fett do it. But it's like there's all these opportunities here. I'm not a freaking genius. I'm not an Imagineer. I didn't go to architect school and all this other stuff, and I can think of this stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why can't they figure this out? It's not that complicated.
I mean, what if, just to spitball here, just to kind of get passionate about it and just kind of, draw this out a little bit more. What if you're eating, you're having dinner, everything's fine. Maybe you do have Gaia singing or some band or whatever singing and everything's great. And then all of a sudden you just see this kind of Mandalorian just come in, right? Din Djarin. He's just quietly coming in. Not making a big deal, right? You're not having lights on him or whatever, just naturally as one would do, right? If he's looking for a bounty. And then, you know, as soon as he steps down the steps to get into this main area right here, the music kind of goes quiet, and you know, he just kind of looks around. Maybe you hear the kind of whistle in the background, you know, the signature, you know. Exactly, right? The signature Mando thing. I gotta get some sound effects for this, by the way. But anyway, that's another whole other story. But you see him come in, and you know, everybody kind of goes silent. Everybody kind of looking that direction, and he's kind of, you know, looking at the room. And he just kind of goes over to a table, which, you know, may have been set up for this, just saying.
Right.
And, you know, you just see him go, I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold, you know? And he's like, he's doing the thing, right? And obviously shenanigans takes place. Maybe he busts out the Darksaber and kind of saws the table in half, you know? And they kind of have this battle right there, you know, kind of while you're eating. Costs almost nothing. Right. You got a lot of these costumes, and if you haven't made them for the parks, whose decision is that? And simple effects, not crazy. Maybe you know, maybe you could have some blaster fire sparks, whatever. Not simple effects. And they run out, and you just had this kind of crazy little moment, right?
Right.
The fact that they don't do even that little stuff, even just the bare minimum, it's crazy. It's wild.